Your dog is staring at you right now. Maybe they have been for a while. That long, unblinking, almost uncomfortably intense gaze that makes you look up from your phone and wonder what they want. Most owners laugh it off. They assume it's about food or a walk or just a quirky dog thing. But here's the truth. Not every stare means the same thing. Some of them are completely innocent, and some of them are your dog's only way of telling you something is seriously wrong. What if I told you there are specific types of stares with specific body signals attached that veterinarians treat as genuine warning signs? Signs that get missed every single day because owners assume their dog is just being odd. Today I'm going to show you exactly which stares matter, what each one means, and the ones you should never, ever ignore. Let's start with why dogs stare in the first place, because understanding the reason behind the behavior is what helps you tell the difference between my dog loves me and my dog needs help. Dogs don't have language. They can't tap you on the shoulder and say their stomach hurts, or that something feels wrong, or that they're scared and don't know why. What they have instead is eye contact, body language, sustained, deliberate attention directed at the one person they trust most, you. Most people don't realize that a dog making eye contact with their owner is actually a sophisticated form of communication that took thousands of years of domestication to develop. Wild wolves don't hold eye contact with humans. Dogs do, specifically because they learned that looking at us gets results. It's one of the most uniquely canine behaviors that exists. So when your dog stares at you, they're not spacing out, they're communicating. The question is always what they're trying to say. Here's the interesting part. The stare itself is almost never the whole message. The message is in everything around the stare. The position of the ears, whether the body is relaxed or stiff, whether the tail is moving or perfectly still, whether the dog is leaning toward you or slightly away, whether the eyes are soft and warm or wide and glassy. Two dogs can stare at you with identical intensity and mean completely opposite things. One is saying, I love you and I want to be near you. The other is saying, something is wrong and I don't know how to fix it. Learning to read the difference takes about 5 minutes once you know what to look for, and it could genuinely change your relationship with your dog. Let me explain the first type of stare, the one most owners already know even if they've never put words to it. Imagine your dog lying across the room, not near their bowl, not by the door, just watching you while you work or watch television. Their body is completely relaxed, ears are in a neutral position, the tail might wag slowly if you glance over. The eyes are soft, almost sleepy looking. This is what researchers actually call a soft eye stare, and it's associated with oxytocin release in dogs, the same bonding hormone humans release when they look at someone they love. This stare is your dog telling you they feel safe, content, and connected to you. It requires nothing except that you occasionally look back and acknowledge them. Meeting this stare with calm, gentle eye contact actually deepens the bond between you and your dog in a measurable biological way. But here's where it gets important. That soft, warm stare has a distinct opposite, and the difference between the two is something every dog owner needs to be able to recognize. Right where we left off, the opposite of the soft bonding stare is what veterinarians and animal behaviorists call a hard stare, and this one carries a completely different message. A hard stare is intense, unblinking, and fixed. The body behind it is usually still not relaxed, still but rigid, still. There's tension running through the dog's frame. The ears may be forward or slightly flattened. The tail, if it's moving at all, is moving slowly and low rather than in a loose, happy wag. Now listen carefully because this distinction matters enormously. A hard stare directed at a person, especially combined with a stiff body, can be a dog's way of communicating extreme discomfort, fear, or a warning that they have reached their limit in a given situation. It does not always mean aggression is coming, but it does mean the dog is telling you something needs to change right now. Most owners miss this stare because it looks similar to focus or attention. The dog isn't growling, they're not snapping, they're just looking. And in human terms, intense eye contact is often read as positive engagement. In dog terms, a sustained, hard stare with body tension is a yellow light, sometimes quickly becoming a red one. Here's something that surprises many people. Dogs often give this warning long before any other visible signal appears. They are actually being remarkably polite about it. They're trying to communicate through the least escalated signal available to them before moving to something more obvious. When owners learn to read this stare correctly, they can respond to the dog's actual message before the situation ever escalates. The right response to a hard stare is always to reduce pressure. Give the dog space. Remove whatever is causing the discomfort. Speak calmly and avoid direct eye contact in return, because sustained eye contact from a human back to a stressed dog can actually increase tension rather than diffuse it. Now here's a third type of stare that has nothing to do with bonding or warning, and this is the one that most concerns veterinarians when owners describe it. If you found this helpful and want to understand your dog at this level every single week, hit subscribe. What I'm about to cover next is the stare that gets missed most often and matters most medically. The stare that concerns vets is when a dog stares blankly, not at you specifically, but past you, or at a fixed point on a wall, the floor, or a corner of a room with no apparent trigger and no responsiveness when you call their name or move in front of them. This is sometimes called stargazing or fly-catching behavior when accompanied by other unusual movements. But a sustained blank stare with disconnection from surroundings can also be associated with neurological events. Pain that is difficult to localize, cognitive dysfunction in older dogs, or the early stages of a seizure. This is the stare that should never be ignored. Here's what most pet health content never tells you, and it's the part that pulls everything together. There is a fourth type of stare. It's the most common one after the bonding stare. It's the one happening in millions of homes right now, and it's the one owners are most likely to misread as cute, funny, or simply dog being dog behavior. It's the stare your dog gives you when something hurts and they can't find relief. Dogs in pain rarely whimper or cry the way most people expect. They're actually wired to hide pain as a survival instinct. A dog showing obvious weakness in the wild becomes vulnerable. So instead of vocalizing, a dog in discomfort often becomes quiet. They watch. They follow their owner with their eyes more than usual. They seek proximity without settling. They lie down, get up, shift position, lie down again. And through all of it, they keep their eyes on you. Here's the truth about what that stare is saying. It's not random. It's not separation anxiety. It's a dog directing all of their attention at the one being in their world who has ever made something better. They don't have the words, but they have the stare, and they're using it the only way they know how. Think about that for a second. Your dog, when they're hurting and confused and can't understand why, looks at you, not away from you, at you. That trust is extraordinary, and it deserves to be recognized for what it is. Now here's the specific combination of signals that should make any dog owner pause and take action. If your dog is staring at you more than usual and showing any of the following, it warrants a closer look and potentially a vet visit. Restlessness combined with staring, unable to settle in any position, is one of the classic signs of abdominal pain or bloat in dogs, particularly in large or deep-chested breeds. Bloat can become life-threatening within hours. A dog who stares at you while repeatedly lying down and getting up, especially if the belly looks distended or the dog is unproductive retching, needs emergency attention immediately. Staring combined with head pressing, where the dog pushes their head against a wall or solid surface, is associated with neurological conditions affecting the brain and requires urgent veterinary evaluation. Staring combined with sudden clinginess and a reluctance to move normally in a dog who is usually independent and active can indicate pain in the spine joints or internal organs. Staring combined with glassy, unfocused eyes and slow responsiveness, particularly in an older dog, can be an early sign of cognitive dysfunction, pain, or the beginning of a neurological event. None of these combinations should be met with, "They're probably just tired." They should be met with attention, observation, and a phone call to your vet if the behavior continues or worsens. Your dog is talking to you. They always have been. Let's make all of this practical, because knowing the theory matters far less than knowing what to actually do when your dog is standing in front of you, staring. The first step is always to stop and observe before you react. Most owners either immediately give the dog what they assume they want, a treat, a walk, attention, or they ignore the stare entirely. Neither response tells you anything about what the dog actually needs. Instead, take 15 seconds. Look at the whole dog, not just the eyes. What is the body doing? Are the muscles relaxed or tight? Is the tail moving or still? Are the ears forward, neutral, or pinned back? Is the dog leaning toward you or keeping a slight distance? Is the breathing normal and easy or faster than usual? Those 15 seconds of actual observation give you more information than any amount of guessing. If the body is relaxed and the eyes are soft, your dog is communicating comfort or a gentle desire for connection. Respond with warmth. A calm word, a slow blink back, a gentle touch, you're deepening a bond that genuinely benefits your dog's emotional health. If the body is stiff and the eyes are hard and fixed, reduce pressure in the environment. Give space. Remove whatever stimulus might be causing stress. Don't lean in, don't stare back, and don't reach out to touch the dog until the tension releases. Speak in a low, calm voice if you speak at all. If the stare is directed past you at a wall or empty space with no responsiveness to your voice or movement, note the time duration and any other unusual behaviors happening alongside it. This information is exactly what your vet needs when you describe the episode. If the stare is accompanied by restlessness, repeated position changes, a distended belly, or unproductive retching, do not wait. Call your vet or an emergency animal hospital immediately. Now here's something worth building into your regular routine. Once a week, spend 5 minutes doing nothing but watching your dog from across the room. Not interacting, not playing, just observing how they move, how they hold their body, what their resting expression looks like. This baseline awareness is what allows you to notice when something is different. Most owners only notice changes when they become dramatic. But the early signals, the ones that come weeks before a problem becomes serious, are visible to anyone who knows what normal looks like for their specific dog. You cannot see a change without a reference point. Building that reference point takes almost no time and pays back enormously. Your dog has been watching you since the day they came home. Every habit you have, every routine, every expression, they know it all. They read you constantly, carefully, and with complete attention. The least we can do is learn to read them back. Here's what I want you to do today. The next time your dog stares at you, stop for 15 seconds before you respond. Look at the whole body. Soft eyes and relaxed muscles mean love and connection. Hard eyes and a stiff body means something needs to change. A blank stare at nothing means write down what you see and call your vet if it happens again. And if the stare comes with restlessness, a swollen belly, or head pressing, call your vet right now, not tomorrow. Hit subscribe for more of this every week and tell me in the comments, what does your dog's stare usually mean?